Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday night and every Tuesday night I jump on and do a sketch challenge. And so tonight I'm here. I kind of like this sketch challenge. I think you can do a lot with it. It's got a triangle in it, but it just means you can cut a piece of designer series paper or cardstock into half diagonally to make it work. So hopefully you'll be able to play with this and make some great cards. All right, I missed you on Saturday. I was live on Sunday. Hey, Lynette, oh, I'm glad you're here. I missed everybody on Saturday. I know I was live on Sunday, but I had a great BOGO event on Saturday. So if you're still looking for, or if you're looking for some retired products and want to get a great deal on them, just let me know. I still have lots available. All right, I'm going to switch over. I'm playing with the one of the new, or it is new. It's part of the online exclusives. I played with it last night in my card class, Zoom class, but I'm going to play with it again. So this is a sketch. So you can see why I said it's got triangle in it. So the card base is either 5.5 by 8.5 or 4.25 by 11. And then a piece of cardstock or designer series paper. So layer number 1 is 4 inches by 5.25. And then layer number 2. Now I said 3.5 by 5. I think that's not quite right. I think it should be 3.75 by 5 cut on the diagonal. So I'll have to fix that before it goes live on social media. If you do miss this, I actually have it does go live on social media in about half an hour. So I'll fix this. So layer number 2, which is the blue layer, should be about 3.75 by 5, and then it'll be cut on the diagonal. Layer number 3, which is the circle, is about 2.5 inches. You could make it bigger or smaller. Hey everybody, Nancy, Kathy, Betty, Deborah. Well, welcome from Australia, Deborah. Sandra, everybody else from wherever you're coming from. And then you've got a sentiment piece that I said 3/4 inch by 2, but as always, make your sentiment piece as big or small as you need it to work. Now, let me show you what I'm going to use. I am in love with this tropical leaf bundle. It's a punch bundle. Now, Nancy can type in here what the name of this leaf is, or anybody else that knows. I've forgotten what she said already. She told us last night because it's her daughter's favorite. But I love this leaf. And so it comes, you can punch out the big one. I kind of wish you could punch out both sizes, but you know, I fussy cut this one last night. Hey Marva, welcome. I think these are stems. I wouldn't guarantee that, but anyway, they're kind of cool. Then the inside of the leaf and some really great sentiments. So I'm going to make a thank you card because I always need thank you cards. All right. So I am using, here's my supplies. I'm using Mossy Meadow. I love this green. Mosteria. Thank you, Nancy. Mosteria. All right. So my card base is 4.25 by 11, and I actually measured it this time. Like if you were with me on Sunday, and I made a card using the rhinos, wondering why my first layer wasn't fitting properly, the frame I created. It was because my card base was actually the wrong size. So this is 4.25 by 11, scored in half at 5.5, and folded into the mountain or the raised line and folded with my bone folder. Now, like I said, you could do all sorts of things with this card and this sketch. So you could take a piece of cardstock and then a piece of designer series paper, cut it on the diagonal. But let me show you what I'm going to do. I've cut a piece of the distressed gold specialty paper that's 4 inches by 5.25. And then I cut. Now mine's going to be a little bit bigger only because, actually, I'm going to make it the same. So it should be 3.75 by 5. So I'm going to trim this to 3.75. Hopefully, I actually have this to be had it to be 4. Now it's going to be a little harder for me to do this because I've already. Let's see how close I can get this. So I've taken this. This is the layering vellum. Now it's going to be a little hard for me to get this to be actually 5 inches. Because I've already gone and cut it using the split card texture dies. But anyway, it's pretty close to 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so this is my triangle because I've got it cut out. You can see it better on the mossy meadow. But I thought it would look kind of pretty on the gold. So these are the layering vellum paper. It's 12 by 12, and this is the one with the kind of newsprint on it. You could use, there is one, they have white or black. I only have some of the black left, and there's some with road maps, all sorts of things. Okay, so this is going to be my layers. This is going to go on like this. And then I'm going to decorate it with some of the Monstera leaves. So let's actually glue this. Now, vellum often shows adhesive. So I'm going to try very carefully, get my silicone mat out, to just, I don't have, let's see, somewhere I have a sponge dauber. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put some glue here. So because with vellum, you can actually see the adhesive sometimes through. I'm just taking a sponge dauber and picking up some of the glue, because this is kind of thin, and putting it on. I'm just kind of rubbing it, and I'm going to hope that it will have enough on it. If I need to, I will put some glue dots underneath the hidden spots. But I'm just taking and covering. So you could use a sponge for this, but I've got a sponge dauber, and it allows me to pick up the glue and just keep it kind of thin so that I don't get too much on there. Hey, Felicia. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take this, and now let's see if we can adhere it and make it stick. And then we'll see if I have to add glue dots under parts of it. But I kind of like this technique because you can cover it. There we go. I might need just a little bit more here. There we go. Pretty good, actually. It's going to take a little bit to get tacky and set. All right, so then we can take, I'm a sucker. I love putting gold on, especially this distressed gold is one of my favorites. All right. So I might have to put a little bit more glue on, but there we go. I've got my, so there's my triangle on this side. Now I've got that piece that will go on like that, but let's do some stamping while I think that's the right size for the inside of the card. All right, some stamping. So I pulled out Pear Pizzazz, Sahara Sand, and Mossy Meadow. I'm going to do a mixture of the colors. So this is my Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to stamp. I wanted some kind of, Pear Pizzazz is kind of light and bright. And then let's do one. This is probably going to be a bit of green. No, actually not too bad. So there's those two that I can actually punch out. But before I punch out, what's the name of the vellum? It's the layering vellum specialty or design. No, layering vellum specialty paper. All right, where's my Mossy Meadow? There it is. And I love this little kind of middle that creates the veins. Just adds a really nice touch to these leaves. All right, and now we can take and punch. I am a sucker for punch bundles. Love punch bundles. There's one. Two. All right, and then I'm going to stamp the thanks so much in Pear Pizzazz. I think that's what I grabbed. There we go. kind of nice and bright. And then I'm going to stamp the little one in Pear Pizzazz as well. This one I'm going to have to fussy cut. So if you're not someone who loves to fussy cut, maybe you can just stamp the smaller leaves on. I created a bit of a background using these leaves last night on the card we made. It's kind of a fun card. If you ever want to come and join us, it's Monday night at 7 on Zoom. So you can come and join. We make a card together. Last night was a fancy fold. So I'm just going to take and fussy cut around. I'm not going to worry about going in the little splits in the card. I'm just going to cutting around. Leaving some white. All right. And then, so my sentiment is bigger than the 3/4 of an inch by 2, but I'm just going to take and fussy cut. You can use a die or a punch or just fussy cut like I do. Oh my goodness, I actually have a screened in tropical back porch. Oh, that sounds wonderful. It turned into a beautiful day here. I think spring has arrived on the west coast of Canada. It was a little rainy this morning. Actually, when I went out to yoga, it was kind of drizzly. But by the time I'd come out of yoga, it was nice and sunny. Oh, it was so nice. Okay, I'm going to have to use a little bit more glue because clearly it's not sticking on these edges. There's a fine balance between how much glue. I'm going to take this off because it's not sticking. I'm going to have to, let's get a little bit more glue. Yeah, it's a fine balance between, you know, not enough glue and too much glue here. You watch now, I'll be on the too much glue side in just a minute. It won't take me long to get there. If I do, we'll end up with glue dots, pretty sure. All right, let's see if this will stick. Oops. There we go. Like I said, almost on the edge too much, but I think that might do it. There we go. Okay, so let's actually, the other thing that I'm going to use, oh, now I got glue on my fingers. Oh, nothing worse. This is the gold and silver 1/8 inch ribbon pack, gold and silver. I am in love with the gold, and I've lost my sentiment. There it is. All right, so let's just take and wrap this around your fingers or the palm of your hand 2 or 3 times. Cut it. And then as you pull it off, pinch it together. And I usually just use a little bit of Stamp and Seal just to kind of hold it in place, because I'm going to hold it in place with my, you can kind of spread this out before you put it on. There we go. Going to make it a little bit bigger, longer. There we go. And I'm going to use dimensionals on my circle. All right, just want to make sure I'm going to hold the ribbon in place. So we'll just put the ribbon on like that. Hold it down with those dimensionals. And then we'll use dimensionals on the backs of our leaves. My sister is in Mexico at the moment, and she keeps sending me pictures of what it looks like. So this morning, she sent me a picture of her waiting for her facial on the beach. Oh my gosh, I don't think that's fair. It was beautiful. Gosh, the the bougainvillea. I don't know if that's the way you say it, but oh, it's so stunning. All right, there we go. There's my flowers or my leaves. And then I think I will put, I think I'm just going to put it down here at the bottom. And I probably should have in some embellishments, but I actually don't. So it will just have to be what it is. All right, so there we go. There's the front of the card. Isn't that pretty? I just love the gold. All right, and I've got a piece of basic white. So let's stamp one of the leaves. I keep wanting to say flowers. One of the leaves in Pear Pizzazz. And then the middle veins in Mossy Meadow. All right, so I was playing a game. I don't know if it was just on my team page or on my group. No, I think it was on my group. So if you're part of my Facebook group, asking people to name some new colors that they would like to see. So if you've never ever noticed, Stampin' Up's colors, for the most part, all are alliterations, meaning they're two words and they start with the same letter. So Pear Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow and Gray Granite, Mango Melody. So I was playing a little game to see what colors people thought we needed. There was some really cool names. Luscious Lemon was one. I've forgotten now. But anyway, if you're not part of my group, yeah, check it out and you can play along and tell me what colors you'd like to see and maybe what the name is for them. Yeah, I really love that. I love how the gold is on this card. I am a sucker for adding gold to a card, especially with green. So I'm really happy with how that card turned out. All right, I will fix the sketch before it goes live because that the second layer with the triangle actually needs to be a smaller, just actually a little bit bigger than what it says. So I'll fix that before it goes live. Don't forget to share your cards because every month I do a draw and send some people some happy mail for sharing their projects. I'd love to send you something. Let's see, I will be live on Thursday night. It'll be a mystery challenge. So hopefully you'll join me for the mystery challenge. I will post the clues on Thursday about 9 or so Pacific in the morning so that you can be ready and make a card with me. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great day. If you're looking for this tropical leaf on my online store, you can find it under new because it's one of the March online exclusives. So you won't find this in a catalog, but you will find it in my online store, or you can search tropical leaf and you'll be able to find it. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.